All right. Good morning, everybody, and happy Saturday. And of course, good evening to our viewers in the Philippines. My name is, of course, Shay, and you are on Keeping It Real with Shay. Thank you so much, of course, for our viewers and subscribers who are watching this morning. And if you aren't subscribing yet to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to Keeping It Real with Shay. Click the thumbs up button, comment, and of course, subscribe. And click the bell after you subscribe so you will be up to date with my upcoming vlogs. So we have such an exciting morning this morning. So grab your coffee because it's going to be a good hour and maybe even a little bit more than an hour because I have today as my guest, of course, a Miss Nikki Ocampo, who is also my cousin actually. And because of everything going on and she's so busy, it's, what do you call this? It's so hard to be able to meet with her. So
Yeah.
we are having our coffee date online on my live chat this morning. So I'm so excited for that. So Nikki, thank you so much. Good morning, and how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? How is everyone
Good,
doing?
good, good. The kids have started school, and yeah, no, everything is running smoothly so far. But I see how busy you are, and so that's the reason why I wanted to actually bring you on today's show because lately I've been talking a lot about what's happening around us, a little bit about, hosting and what I do. But I thought it's so important because, I have such, a big following on Instagram, and so do you, of new moms, entrepreneurs, even just working moms. And you have such I don't even know how you do it, but I think you embody the working mom life balance, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So I think we'll keep it casual, and for everybody watching, please make sure you do a subscribe and like and comment and what do you call this? Let's keep it interactive and use the chat box. So we know that you're on. Say hello. And of course, if you have any questions for us or for Nikki, please feel free to ask. And before we start, I want to say hi to our cousin Hyacinth, who's in the Philippines. Thank you so much for your comment. And thank you so much for watching. It's so exciting that you guys are able to watch us. It is nighttime there, so yeah, I'm excited. So without further ado, Nikki, the floor is yours. I mean, what? Let's start with what you're doing right now, and then we'll kind of tie into how you find balance because you're up so early, you sleep early. How do you pack up your day? How do you get everything done?
Yeah.
Please do tell. Please do
Okay.
tell.
So right now, I'm not gonna lie, I have a lot on my plate. Hi, Robin.
Yes,
Um,
hi, Robin. Okay.
so I do have a lot on my plate. I am working full time at a fitness studio close to home, and I'm there as the assistant manager and head trainer. And then and with that, like I'm working pretty much. I'm at work by 5:30 in the morning,
Oh,
and
wow.
on days that I'm not working in the morning, I'm working in the evening until about 8 o'clock. So it's really my schedule is all over the place with that. And then I also am in school right now. I'm in school part time for holistic nutrition. So I'm almost done that. I'm pretty much halfway done. And then I have my little one, Mia. So she's
Yes.
full as well. And then I have my business that I just started, which is holistic wellness for women who are pregnant and moms. So it's a lot. It's a lot to do. And honestly, I feel like the thing that helps me balance everything is keeping time for myself and scheduling literally everything in my week. So I have two planners. I have one that I write in physically, which I plan at
Okay.
the beginning of every week. And then I have my calendar on my laptop that's synced to my phone as well. So if for any reason I'm not by my physical planner, at least I can put it online or on
Mhm.
wherever I am. So those are the two things. And I think another big thing is really going outside and getting fresh air. So I always put time to always make time to go outside. Like today I'm planning to go out for a really long bike ride, or on other days I'll go for a walk, or just some type of movement and fresh air I find helps me so much. And just helps
Yeah.
me clear my mind and like kind of refresh and reset and figure out what I need to do. Yeah, I would
But
say.
what is okay, let's talk about a regular day. Okay. So you get up in the morning. What does Nikki's day look like? Because you have a she's how old now? She's over a year old,
So she's
a year
19.
and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah,
So, being a mom of two myself, I remember when they were that young, and it's just so busy.
yeah.
What does your day like? What does Nikki's day look like? What does it start with?
Yeah. So I wake up around 4:45 in the morning. I get up, make my coffee, get ready for work. I'll go to work for 5:30. I'll come back around 10 in the morning. And then that's when me and my partner switch. So he'll go to work and I'll be on mom duty from around 10 till 1. And this is on a day if I don't have school. If I have school, then I'm in class from 10 to 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then I'm not really home until 2. And then that's when we would do the switch over. But so I'll be on mom duty until 2. We'll either take a nap, go for a walk, get some fresh air. And
Okay.
during that time, I try to do some work from home as well. Whether it's with F45 or with my business, with clients, stuff like that. And then from there, we kind of just have some family time together at night, get ready for dinner, get ready for bed, and that's it. Like, honestly, it doesn't seem as busy as it is, but it's really about, I think, setting time blocks for certain things and then having my
Yeah.
to-do list for the day, which really helps too.
So where do you find the time to cook and like find these new ideas for like dinner or snacks? Like, I see your stories all the time and I'm like, how does this girl even have time to like, find out all these things? Because I
Yeah,
know you and your partner, Danny, I know you guys work well as a team. You would have to. I think that's important,
yeah, that's
right?
definitely a really big part. Is that makes it a lot easier. Is both being on the same page, and I think him also working for the same company helps us understand it even more, if that makes sense. Like we know the struggles of every business, and it just
Yeah.
for us. But as for meals, honestly, we just go with the flow. Like it's different every single day. Some days,
Mhm.
especially with a toddler, like you never know what they're gonna eat that day. Like,
Yes.
sometimes you'll make some cereal or porridge, and some days she'll eat it, and some days she won't. So then you try to make something else. Um, but typically, she'll eat whatever we eat. So I'm not gonna lie, there's nights where we don't have time to cook, and some nights we'll order pizza, and that's okay. It's all about balance. But other times we're pretty prepared. Like we go to the grocery store once a week and stock up on everything we want to make that week. So that
Okay.
whenever that time comes and we have that time, then we'll cook that. So like for example, tonight we have food to make pasta, so that's what we're going to be having for dinner tonight. And then
Okay.
for breakfast, it's a little bit easier because we buy everything in bulk, like eggs, turkey bacon, avocados, toast, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We have a variety and like different options as well. I think she wants to come say hi.
Oh yeah, bring her over. So as you can see, guys, it's doable. We just need to organize ourselves. Because I mean, Nikki actually, she's got such a full plate, and if she can handle it, I'm pretty sure we can too. Hi, Mia, and of course, this is Mia.
You want water? Okay. Say hi, everyone.
Can you say hi to everyone? She's so good. She's been really good. So I was just saying when you left to get Mia that if you can balance it, we can balance it too. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Um, it's not that hard. But it shouldn't be that hard. Hi, Rena. How are you? Thank you so much. Of course, our cousin from the Philippines, Rena. Thank you. Um, for tuning in. And actually, just to sidetrack a little, I know Rena. She's also she's a hustler too. She works hard, and she's got I think 2 girls or 3.
Wow.
But so again, there's a lot of moms out there that I'm sure have the same questions if they're following you on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I know that you're an instructor. Is that what it is? Yeah, a fitness instructor.
Fitness instructor, but I do a lot of I kind of manage the team, and then I also manage a lot of the sales and like background stuff as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
teaching, it's mostly admin stuff that I'm doing at the moment, but I do teach here and there. Yeah.
So do you guys work, you and Danny work, your partner, work out of the same area, like gym or different?
So I'm more so downtown Mississauga, and
Okay.
he is in Streetsville. So we're not at the same location,
Okay.
which is like it's just better that way. That way
Yeah.
we have some space, which is good.
Yeah. I mean, it is good. It's always good, of course, to do your own thing,
Mhm.
right? But with that said, so you talked about organizing your day and just really, finding time for everything. Now, what would you tell, our moms out there that are watching or that will be watching later on after this live? What tips can you kind of tell us on how to organize our day? Because you know what, like I've been starting to use my calendar, and I also have an organizer, but it's just of course for reminders. But in
Yeah.
terms of organizing my day, I mean, even if my kids are older, I find that it's like I still feel like I don't have enough time for everything.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, so what are your tips and advice that you can give our viewers and even some of the guys out there
Yeah.
that just to fit everything in one day?
Yeah. So I have a couple things. My first tip would be to have a list and prioritize maybe your top 3 things. So have a prioritization list. Your first one can be, what absolutely needs to get done, so a non-negotiable. And then 2 and 3 can be like, okay, this can get done today, this can get done today. But if you have a list of more things, just accept that maybe you don't have time for that today, and that's okay. So, I mean, sometimes you can plan as much as you want, but also just being open to it not happening and being okay with that. Like, there's only so much you can do to control how your day goes. Give me one second.
Yes. So, guys, top 3 things. Okay, so top 3 things that you really need to get done. So, prioritizing. Okay. Hi, Mia.
I'm doing my cookie. So yeah, so having a prioritization list is really important. And then also time blocking your days are really helpful too. So if you have a calendar, like if you have an Apple calendar, it shows the time throughout the whole day. So I don't know if I can maybe even show you guys like what my calendar looks like.
Yes. You know what? That's a good idea because there are people that work full time. So they work a full 8-hour day and
Yeah.
then they have to come home. They have to take care of their families.
Yeah.
And then they have to do their own things, right? Like,
Exactly.
you know, and we're going to get into even when you're running a business. Okay, so that's another thing that you're throwing in there. But yeah, if you could share a calendar, let me know, and I can share the screen or share the screen with us. Because you know what, a lot of people will find this so beneficial. Because as much as we write our things down, it's like we still either miss it or like even with me, like just a simple grocery list,
Yeah.
I don't even have time to do. And
Yeah.
I mean, my kids are older now, so they're not as dependent. As long as they're fed, they have food, they don't
Exactly.
bother me, right?
Yeah.
So, now I'm trying to find what do you call this? Um, some organization in that sense. So yeah, for sure. If you don't mind sharing, that would be great.
Yeah, I'm gonna share it right now. Give me one sec. Can you see my screen?
I haven't seen it yet. If you want to, did you click the share
Uh,
at the bottom there?
oh, calendar. I can share it. Okay, let me know if you can see my calendar.
Nothing has popped up yet.
No?
But if
Okay.
you go at the bottom, did you click share screen?
Yeah, I did. Hold on. Oh, I might have to go to my settings. Screen recording.
So, of course, I want to say hi to all of our viewers, which includes, of course, Hyacinth, my cousin from the Philippines, Rena, our cousin actually from the Philippines, Robin, our cousin as well, Tita Lija. Hi, Tita Lija. Thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's really early there in California. And of course, as Mom Pinay in Korea, thank you so much for your time and for tuning in. And if you
Yeah.
aren't subscribed yet to my channel, please do subscribe to Keeping It Real with Shay. Click the thumbs up button, comment, and of course, subscribe and click the bell so you are up to date on my upcoming live chat sessions and vlogs. So here we go. Nikki has shared her screen. Wow.
So this is what I haven't done much time blocking yet today, but typically this is what my day is gonna look like. And then on every Sunday is when I kind of plan out my week. So this is my previous week. Oh goodness. This is a previous week where I kind of have everything laid out here. So some mornings my days start at 5:30. Some days my days end at 6:30, but I mean I put in literally every single thing. So when to check
Wow.
the email inbox, when I'm teaching, when I have my meetings, when I'm going out, any of
Yeah.
so it's all
Wow.
there, which
That
helps me
is
a lot.
amazing. That is amazing.
And you can even put like little alerts that will kind of remind you about 5 to 10 minutes before. That way, if you get sidetracked or something, then
Yeah.
yeah. So that's a really big help.
Wow. That, you know what? Like I use the same calendar, but I didn't use it in that sense.
Yeah.
So I guess it's like a different view, right? Like
Yeah.
mine's just, your basic whatever.
Yeah.
Hi to Clea Donald, of course. He's
Hi.
watching as well. He is the eldest of the Ocampo cousins.
Yeah.
Nine boys. And I'm the eldest girl.
Yeah.
So of the Ocampo cousins. So this is exciting actually that they're on. And this is great. So hi, of course, again to all of our cousins watching the Philippines. And guys, if our other cousins aren't watching, please make sure they come on so they can see Nikki and I. So I don't know if you guys know, but Nikki is my cousin. She's actually my baby cousin. Not so baby anymore. But yeah, going back to organization and what have you, and just finding balance. I think that's the thing, is finding balance. I think a lot of working moms, and just working parents, struggle with finding balance, right? And I think it's so important that you have, or you set aside some time for your family. I think that's a very big and important thing, especially when the kids are younger. So
Mhm.
I find that they remember that,
Yeah.
right? They remember whether their parents were working or they were always busy. Because I remember that too growing up. Like, my parents worked, multiple jobs, but then on the weekend, they would be there for us, right? So they remember that.
Yeah.
Now, what advice can you give to our new moms? Because I know there are some new moms that will probably come across this chat session that we're having later on. There's so much that surrounds new moms, especially like brand new spanking moms, right? So it's their firstborn. How did you deal with that? Did you experience postpartum? Because postpartum, for those moms that are watching, or even maybe moms to be, postpartum doesn't just happen on your first child.
Yeah.
I didn't have postpartum with Abigail, but I did have postpartum with Avery,
Mhm.
and it's not fun. It's actually a serious illness to have, and what what can you advise the new moms out there? How can you juggle everything as a new mom?
I feel like especially at first, I did find it really hard. I find that postpartum can be so many different things. Like I know for a lot of new moms, you get so many like anxious thoughts, especially about your kids. Like you'll think about the craziest things that will happen to them, and you won't even know why. And you'll feel like, oh my gosh, am I going crazy? Because why am I thinking about these things? So there's that aspect. There's also just feeling like you're not even connected to your child. There's just not feeling good at all. And there's a lot of different ways to help with that. So I would say first to have time to yourself. And I know it's really hard, especially as a new mom, because you're
Hmm.
attached to your little one. But
Yes.
having like a longer shower by yourself or going for a 10-minute walk outside, those things have really helped me. Another thing that really helped me was writing in my journal and
Yes.
meditating. So every morning I write in my journal, I write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. I write down a positive affirmation. So you can say anything like, I'm an amazing mother. I am capable of doing all these things. I can handle everything on my plate. There's so many different things that you could say. And then meditating. So meditating, it can be pretty tough for some people, and it honestly takes a lot of practice. So even in the beginning, I would meditate for a minute a day, and then as soon as I got more comfortable with it, that's when I kind of increased the timing per day, and you'll really feel such a big difference with that. um,
Wow.
yeah.
I think I know I mentioned this so many times with you before, is meditating. Like, I'm that person, and I'm sure those watching could probably relate. I'm that person who has a million things in my head going on at one time. So I'm like that, your laptop where there's all these windows open, and I just have like either ideas or I'm thinking about other things. Like, I actually, from your post alone, which thank you very much, and of course, our cousin Christina, um, just from your post alone, it's actually helped a lot in terms of, you're writing your gratitude, things you're grateful for in the morning, or even journaling. Journaling is such a big thing, and as a lot of people will probably say, you actually write, like, journal. Oh my gosh, that's like the best thing. Like, I find when I'm down, or when I just have so much in my head,
Yeah,
writing for me is so, so, so therapeutic.
it is.
And I think that is so important for everybody. I mean, this works for even, men, women, moms, like anybody, is clearing your mind in a sense where, you write things down or you go for a run, like you said, or a walk.
Yeah.
But I think, you could probably agree with me. I think the first step is actually
Yeah.
admitting
Yeah.
that we take on so much.
You do, for sure.
And now that my kids are older, I'm finding that I have more time on my hands, but it's just a matter of organizing my time, right? So um, everybody is at a different stage in their life, I think, right now. But I think what you had mentioned earlier about just organizing your day, um, you could probably get a lot of things done if you just kind of know how to manage your time.
Yeah.
With that said, I wanted to tie that into self-care.
Yes.
You're an advocate, an ambassador of self-care. I want you to tell us the importance of self-care, and this, can range for anybody at any age, of course. But what the importance of self-care, and what tips can you give us? About self-care, like what can we do, how much time? Like, I know the time part is probably up to us,
Yeah.
but is it better to do it in the morning, or is there, what tips or what information can you give us that surrounds self-care?
So for self-care, I really think it's different for everyone. So I know that every
Mhm.
single person has their own schedule. Some people work night shifts. Hi, Tita Vila.
Hi, Tita Wheela. Thank you for tuning in.
Some people
That's
work.
our aunt. That's our auntie, like our real
They're
aunt.
yogi auntie.
Our yogi auntie. Okay. Go
So,
ahead.
oh, Mia wants to say hi. Say hi to Lola.
Okay. Come, Mia, say hi to Tita Lola.
Say hi, Lola.
She's watching.
You go, go.
Oh, maybe I can have you on the show too, Tita, with Nikki and Christina. Oh, that would be a good one.
Good.
Okay, go ahead.
So yeah,
Self-care.
so for self-care, it can be anything that works for you. So some people like movement, some people like Tita Vila I know loves hiking. So you can do
Oh, yeah.
hiking, you can do reading a book, you can meditate. Like there's so many different things. You can cook, you can run. I think the thing that kind of ties everything in together is creating that space for yourself
Mhm.
to reflect. And so that's another key thing I would say is being able to reflect on how your day was, how your week was, reflecting in the moment, how you're feeling. Um, that's a really key part because if you're not aware of how you're feeling or if there's things that you need to change or improve, then what are you doing? It's like I feel like that's the key point of self-care is creating that space for yourself and then um, knowing what to do to change because sometimes you can do as much as you want. You can go on all these runs and not kind of be present in the moment and you
Mhm.
really can feel a difference.
It's
So
true.
yeah. So I mean, for timing wise, I know you mentioned it can range on how you're feeling that day as well. Some days you can feel great and be like, oh, I can go for like a 5-10 minute walk and feel amazing. And some days you don't feel as great and you might need to go for an hour walk or read a book for an hour or have a bath and that's okay too. So I mean, I feel like you just got to feel out how you're feeling that day or how you're feeling that week. Like if you know you have a really hectic week coming up, then
Mhm.
prepare yourself. Um, that's what I would say for that. Yeah.
For self-care. Yeah, you know what? Um, Honestly, the journey to self-care for me, as um, has been tough, only because I always I found that I was actually taking myself for granted. And I think when I took the time, and it really took me many years. And I think after my mom had died, um, I had, I had more of a reason really to take care of myself, because I knew that I had such a big responsibility ahead of me, right? Of course, even if my dad is an adult, and of course I have my brother. I still felt that I needed to be strong, for them and for my kids. But self care was really a hard thing for me. And I think it was because I was always on the go. I was always on the go. I was always run down, and I felt just so tired all the time. And now that, there's so many information, so many people like you, even Tita Wila, Christina, that are, out there and advocating self-care in many different forms, I think is such a great thing for me, because there's so much information around it, and just learning, and it's simple things, guys. Self-care, like remembering to eat in the morning, or having that few minutes in the morning to yourself, I think is so important. And like I mentioned earlier, when I'm down, or when I have just so much in my head, or if there's just so much going on, I go for a run. If I'm upset, if something's stressing me out, I go for a run. If it's not a run, a walk. And it really does help. And I think everybody needs to kind of accept that it's okay to take some time for yourself. Moms, especially new moms, working moms, moms to be, grandmas, moms in general, and men too. Okay, let's not, single them out. But time for yourself, and it's not time for yourself to, uh, you know, I don't know, do things that you would normally do. The time for yourself is to really take the time, put your phone down, and just take the time to reset and regroup. And you know what? You feel 10 times better.
Yeah.
And again, that is so important. Um, Journaling, again, we'll go back to journaling your thoughts and your feelings. There's so much around mental health, which, we can touch on too, Nikki, just a little bit. Your views about mental health, because everything you're doing, it ties into that somehow.
Mhm.
Um, and, what is your views on mental health? Because you know what, with the pandemic, and everything that surrounds us, the uncertainty of everything.
Yeah.
How was, I don't know, have you come across anybody that's maybe suffering from a mental illness? And I mean, the things that you advocate every day, um, is definitely tools that can help
Yeah.
those who are going through depression,
Yeah.
right?
I find that especially with the time that like with what's going on in the world, the biggest thing that people are struggling with is not having control of their life. Like it's something that I've been seeing a lot and that I've experienced from other people that they have told me is that they're having a really hard time because you have control of everything you can do, and now it feels like everything's kind of being taken away from them, like their freedom, their ability to go out anywhere they want to go, to be able to see people that they want to see. They can't hug people. They can't, there's so many different things now that you're not able to control. And so some people, I find that it's a lot harder for them, but other people you'll see they kind of find the positive out of it, which is what I really want to focus on. So I want to focus on letting people know that there's so much more to be grateful for. You're alive, you're breathing, you're healthy, your family's healthy. You're able to still go outside, get fresh air. Our air is clean right now in Vancouver. They're like, even in Canada, they have horrible air quality because of the fires in the States. So even in
Mhm.
it's like I can't even imagine what it's like for them. But to have the pandemic and to have that on top of it, it's like there's just so much going on. So the gratitude journal, helps me with that again. So writing down everything that I'm grateful for, reminding people that there's little things to be grateful for as well. Yeah, I think that's the biggest main thing when it comes to our mental health at this moment in time.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you know what, that is so important. And you know, I'm taking you for a walk with me, Tita Wila says. Mia. Um, no, it's, you know what, it's sad because I think the increase of mental illness during this pandemic has skyrocketed. A lot of people, of course, are feeling the burdens of being inside. So, you know, you explaining that even a little bit of fresh air does make a difference.
Mhm.
Um, you know what? Being positive and staying positive is such uh a big factor,
Yeah.
you
And
know.
it's
And
not easy. It's not
it's
easy for some
not,
people.
it really isn't easy to be positive always.
Yeah.
um, you
Sure.
know, you're gonna have those days when you're so down, and it's just negative, right? Negative thoughts and stuff like that. But you know, staying positive, especially during these times. I mean, some people aren't able to see their families. Some people aren't able to go back home to where they came from if they're visiting.
Mhm.
So definitely, it definitely is a you know, it's hard times, definitely hard times, but yes, let's remain positive. And I think the people that surrounds us, and you know, surround yourself with positive people, and of course you'll have you know, a more positive outlook on everything going on, right?
Yeah.
So moving along, let me ask you this. I've always wanted to ask you this. So we've talked about finding balance with working. Okay. So, you know, you're a working mom, being a mom to, of course, Mia. But how about business? You know, you have a business, you're starting, or you've started.
Mhm.
So I want to know more about, tell us more about that. And of course, what you're in school for, because you also go to school. So look, she works, she's a mom, she goes to school, and she's building a business. Now tell me, if she can do it, why can't we, right? So tell me how number one, you're building your business. Tell me a little bit about your business, and of course, what are you in school for? And I also want to know the meaning behind your Instagram name, Holistic. Is that
Okay.
how you say it? Okay.
Yes.
So I know that's a mouthful, but let's start with, you know, where, you know, the business that you're trying to build, and then we'll go into that. We'll go into your website a little later on before we
Okay.
go. So we'll leave that to last. But tell me a little bit about the business that you're trying to build, and what is your vision, and what is your mission behind.
Yeah. So I feel like everything will kind of tie in together as I talk about it. But my business, so I started off always loving, like, having a passion for fitness and for movement. So that's initially what it started out as, maybe a couple years ago, and that was when it was Wellness with Nikki, and I just wanted to focus on all different aspects of wellness. And then I figured I know everything about movement, or at least I love the fact that I can educate people on movement, but I felt like something was missing. So I'm in school right now for holistic nutrition in Mississauga, and it is a 2-year part-time program, which is what I'm doing. So I decided to do that. That way I can educate people on movement, but also on nutrition as well. So I just feel like when it comes to wellness, I can kind of have like the whole realm of it.
Mhm.
So that's what my focus is on. And then when it came to holistic nutrition, I actually I'm working with a business mentor. So I hired a business mentor.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's a really big investment, but I believe that it's helped so much.
Wow.
And she actually went to my school as well. She's the one who recommended me to go. You okay? She recommended me to go to this school. And so, yeah, she started her own business mentoring business, and I was all in. And she's helped me create my vision and create my mission, and create my website. Like, there's so many things that have already happened within the past couple months.
Wow.
So my vision for my business, which is holistic, it is to okay. It is to empower women and to educate women on having their best pregnancy and their best mom life as possible. So it's
Wow.
kind of an inside scoop of my experience as a mother, and helping educate women with all different types of wellness. So with their nutrition, with their movement, I just want them to be able to bloom throughout their pregnancy, to bloom throughout postpartum, and
Mm-hmm.
and just have the best experience that they can. And I really think that sharing my experience and sharing my knowledge with them, it'll help them do that. So yeah, that's my mission and my vision is just to empower women and to help them have the best motherhood experience they can have.
Wow. That is, that is such a great thing you're doing. You're pretty much advocating, or you're ambassador of all the moms out there. And in terms of, this business that you ventured into, what how are you building it? Like, are you going to be do you want to be a speaker? Are you like a life coach? Like, um how are you, or what's your vision in terms of building it?
So for building it, I'll talk about a little bit of my services right now. So
Yes.
now I'm actually eventually I'm going to be taking clients one-on-one. So
Okay.
that's eventually my goal. Is I'm starting to do that a little bit now, but my goal is to eventually just have one-on-one and also group programs as well. So small group programs, which I would want to have at least for 8 weeks. And for 8 weeks, you'll be in a small group of either moms to be or with moms postpartum. And throughout those 8 weeks, we focus on how to incorporate movement. We do meal planning. We do some reiki, which is energy healing as well, and kind of just prepare you. What's wrong? We kind of just prepare you for having for birth, and then prepare you for motherhood postpartum as well.
Okay.
And I'm also starting October. I'm actually going to be teaching prenatal movement classes and postpartum movement classes. So
Oh, wow.
strength, yeah, and just empowering your body as a mom or mom to be. So
Mm-hmm.
that's as well.
Wow. In terms of, okay, so you just touched on so many things. So in terms of, movement and stuff, I know that you're offering, like, you do a lot of classes outdoors about movement and whatnot. Is that only to catering to moms, or are you catering to like everybody?
So initially I was catering to everybody, but ever since launching my website, I'm only going to be catering to moms and moms
Okay.
to be, and that's going to be in October. But I mean, if there is a demand for movement or for strength classes for everyone, then I'm more than willing to do that either over Zoom. I mean, outdoors is getting a little bit cold now, so I don't know if I would do outdoors.
Yeah, but I see, I see all of your posts, like I said, and you really just um being out there and I think you found your passion.
Mhm.
And I think it's safe to say that how this all came together is by experience and you being a mom.
Yeah.
But I don't, there are so many people out there that that are now having babies. I mean, there's going to be a baby boom after this pandemic. But so you know what, your business, I'm sure, or your services is definitely an essential. And I commend you on everything that you've done this far, and so proud of the women that you have become. And I want to know just a little bit about Reiki. I want you to touch a little bit on that. Only because and I hope Tita Wila doesn't mind me saying this, but only because Tita Wila as well is a Reiki, is it master, or what are they called, what are you guys called, like Reiki
Practitioner.
practitioner? Okay, so
Yeah.
she performed Reiki with me a few times when my mom was sick, and she performed Reiki on my mom as well, and it helps. And I want you to I want you to kind of just educate us a little bit about Reiki, because it's not something that um, people really know about, or it's not something that is advertised, or not a lot of us are educated about it. So if you can kind of just tell us a little bit about Reiki, the the reason behind it, and the treatment, what it entails, really.
So Reiki is, and honestly, there's not a lot of people that know about it, and you're completely right. So Reiki is a form of energy healing, and it's when the practitioners, so myself, Tita Wila, anyone who does Reiki, they use the energy from the universe to help you heal. It can either be emotionally, it can be physically. So I've helped people heal. There's even like energy blockages that you won't even know about. So
Yes.
I've actually helped some women with, they've struggled with conceiving, and so
Oh,
I've helped
wow.
that. There's certain energy blockages for that. I've helped with headaches. I've helped with back pain, knee pain. There's so many different physical stuff, and then also just kind of having more clarity is what I'm finding people come to me for nowadays. So a lot of people, especially during COVID, I find that they don't have as much clarity as they thought, and they kind of just want to know a little bit more about what their purpose is in the world, or it can be anything, but even finding balance, feeling grounded. There's so many different things that you can get Reiki for if you just want to, help with anxiety, help you relax, help you sleep.
Mhm.
There's that as well. So Reiki practitioners, they can do everything. They can do anything.
Yeah.
Up to the person to be open to that healing. So
Yes.
because
Yes.
Reiki isn't known, some people might not really believe in it, and so if they don't, then it's not going to benefit them in any way.
You know what? That's actually true, because I remember the first time Tita Wila performed Reiki on me. I think she's only done it twice, but the first time I was like, what is this? Like, what is
Yeah.
going on? Right. But I suffer from migraines. But I think at that point it was just the stress of my mom being sick and stuff. But she did it the second time, and I slept like a baby. Like, I'm talking, I felt so light, like so much lighter after. And it's it's amazing, it's amazing. And it's true that you need to really believe in that kind of treatment. Now this does fall into the holistic wellness, right? Reiki. um, and I think that's going to be the new wave of medicine. And I think natural medicine is so important. So you're in school right now for holistic medicine. Is that what it is?
Holistic
Holistic,
nutrition. So food
holistic
is
nutrition.
medicine.
Okay.
Mm.
Food and medicine, or food?
Food is medicine.
Food is medicine.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited to, to see what's going to unfold for you, after you're done. How long is this program? For anybody that's interested, can you tell us just a little bit about what that program is about?
Yeah. So it's a year full time, and if you want to do it part time, it's 2 years. I'm about halfway done, so I think I have a year left.
Wow.
So you pretty much go through, like, you go through everything starting from the basics, where you go through chemistry, biology,
Oh, okay.
They relate everything to food. So even when you do anatomy, they relate that to food. You go over all of the diets that have been in place over the
Mhm.
past thousands of years, and what works, what doesn't. But what we really focus on is finding an individualized program for every person, because there's so many diets out there, but they don't work for everyone. They work for a
That's true.
certain person. So for example, there's keto. Keto doesn't work for everyone. Keto will work for maybe a few people, and it'll work for a little bit, but it's more
Mhm.
of a quick fix. And so we want to focus on building lifestyle changes, and so that way you can heal. And I mean, there's people that typically come to holistic nutritionists. They're kind of almost like doctors. Like, people would come to us for fertility, they would come to us with cancer, they would come to us for
Oh,
small
wow.
illnesses that we can
Yeah.
help treat through food and through supplements. So that's pretty much the main focus, is finding an individualized program for each person. And it doesn't only involve nutrition, but it also involves every other aspect of your lifestyle as well. So when it comes to stress, exercise, your financial situation, there's so many different things that come into play that typically doctors don't really ask or don't kind of get
No, no, you're right.
a big part of your health.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I think mindfulness itself is something that should be part of natural. I mean, medicine,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where and when a lot of sickness actually occurs is really in the mind at times.
Yeah.
But okay, well, let's move a little bit forward here and talk about this website. Now, do I have the link correct there, Nikki?
Yes, you do.
Okay, I don't know if you can share your screen there, if you have it up. So, guys, I think it was last week. Was it last week, Nikki? Um, she launched her very own website. So you can see the link on your screen. Um, Guys, moms, new moms to be, moms, existing moms,
Yeah.
um, not watch, subscribe. And I know that Nikki also will have a newsletter. Do you have a newsletter?
I
Um,
do. So if you
and,
actually subscribe here at the bottom of the website, you're,
okay.
you'll get a free PDF right away, and it's 5 simple meals for moms on the go.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
Even if you're not a mom, that's okay. You can totally get the meal plan, and it'll be emailed to you right away.
Oh,
So
wow.
all the meals are under 8 ingredients. It takes under 30 minutes to make. So even if you do it by the batch, you can kind of meal prep per week.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So what okay, I know we touched a little bit on your mission, your mission and vision about your business or holistic um and the birth now of it, because you've got this website. So what do you hope to achieve with this website? I know are you going to have content in there for working moms or existing moms? How about moms? It's a good one, moms for moms of teenagers,
Yeah. Yeah,
because that's a
mom.
lot of stress already.
Yeah, I know. I can
Right.
understand. Um,
Um,
I'm having a blog here. I don't know if you can tell. You okay? So this is my blog, if you can all see it.
wow. Okay.
This was just, launching my website, but there's other blog posts here. When should I stop breastfeeding? There's
Wow.
recipes here as well if you wanted to make these little homemade nut butter cups, which are kind of like Reese's but healthier. Yeah, there's
Wow.
gonna be blog posts for all types of stuff related to moms. And then there's my services here as well. If you did want to work with me with nutrition, Reiki, if you wanted to come to my group program or my movement classes. And then if you have any other questions related to motherhood, you can always send me a message here, and then I'll email it back to you.
Wow. So
Yeah,
guys, share her website on all your social media platforms, because this is such a, this is great. This is a great platform for the new moms to be the moms, the working moms, the new moms, the newer moms, the
yeah.
first timers. I wish we had this when I first became a mom. There was like no information. Actually, I was reading the what to know, what to know when you're expecting, or something like that.
Yeah,
What is it called again? What's
what
that
to
book called?
expect.
Yeah, what
I
to expect
the book.
and the what to expect when they're here, right? So
Yeah,
the books are like this big, right? But
yeah.
now there's this website. Oh my God, social media is on fire.
It's,
There's
so
so
many
much.
days. I know.
Yes. I want to touch a little bit about your website.
Mhm.
Now for people that are building their business or have businesses, where, did you create your website on your own?
I did.
You did. The content, I mean, where do you find that time? There you go. So where do you squeeze in time for your business? So we talked about the school. You go to school not every day,
Yeah.
uh,
Twice.
twice a week.
Yeah.
So, building a business ain't easy. So, you're starting from scratch, really. How do you find the time to build your website? And what advice can you give to business owners in terms of content, maybe revamping your website, ideas, like how, where do you find the time? Is my question.
I think a really big part of finding the time actually starts with my business mentor. So me and her have bi-weekly calls. So every other Thursday we have a call for an hour. We go through, we have like a whole syllabus, but we go through a topic each time. And then the week that we don't have a call, I actually have homework to do related to my business. My website wasn't part of my homework, but I was honestly just so inspired and motivated to get it started that I put time aside every single day to do it. And the website that I use is Squarespace, so it's actually a really easy way to get your website running. You just pick a template that you want, and you
Oh,
put
wow.
in your whole branding, like everything that you want it to look like. Pretty much, you pick your font,
Mhm.
your colors, you design it however you want it to be. But throughout the few weeks or the month that I built my website, I was up late at night or up early in the morning. Like every little second that I had, I was literally working on that. So
Wow.
yeah, that would be a big part of it. And then I had something else and it slipped my mind, but that's what I would say for my website. Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, your mentor, going to your business mentor, would you advise people that are starting a business, people that have existing businesses, that maybe want to revamp or kind of renew, rebirth? Would you suggest a business mentor? And I guess a business mentor would coach you and kind of organize you in a way where, she'll kind of guide you in terms of your goals. But
Mhm.
as, entrepreneurs or upcoming entrepreneurs, would you advise them to get a business mentor?
100%. It's helped me so much. And I mean, the business mentor kind of just keeps you in check. And
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of people who want to start a business, they don't know when because they're never ready. But the
Yeah.
reality is you're never going to be ready. So just start it and just
Mhm.
go with the flow. And that's what I just decided to do. And I don't regret any moment because it's helped so much and it's pushed me so much that I if it wasn't for her, like I wouldn't have a website right now. I wouldn't, there's so many things that she's helped me with already that
Mhm.
it's crazy. It's really good. Yeah, I definitely suggest it.
Awesome. Well, you know what? I really want to actually look into that, because that's actually a good idea. So we'll talk.
Mhm.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're coming to, of course, the hour. Thank you so much, Nikki, for your time. Time that you is hard to get from, because you're so busy. So I want to thank you for, of course, agreeing to be on Keeping It Real with Chay's live chat session. You have, I'm sure, touched many lives today and later on, because people will be viewing this, I'm sure, after the live, if they weren't able to make the live this morning. I want you, before we go, to, of course, drop your. Oh, we have a question. We have a question from Mel. When you are faced with an obstacle, how do you overcome and deal with the situation? Before we go, yes, any questions,
Yeah,
guys?
if
We
you have
have
questions,
Nikki.
please,
Let's.
please.
Yes, we can. I allotted Nikki for an extra 30 minutes
Yeah.
in case. So ask away. So Nikki, how would you answer this when you're faced with an obstacle? How do you overcome and deal with the situation?
Yeah, I feel like this is something that I've dealt with recently related to work. So when I have an obstacle, I 100%. I always make time to sit and reflect. So that's always my first step. Actually, first step is admitting that I have an obstacle, because a lot of the times you just keep pushing it aside in your head, but not knowing, for example, for me, is when to say no, or when I have too much on my plate and having to let something go. So that is one obstacle that I had recently. Mia's falling asleep. Hold on. So the first thing is admitting that I have an obstacle and making time to sit and reflect about it and see, what are my options? What can I do to make this better? What can I change? And then communicating that. So talking to whoever you need to talk. Maybe it's your partner, maybe it's your boss at work, and figuring out a way to make it work for not only yourself but for others around you, if it does involve other people. So for an example, like I told my boss that I have too much on my plate right now and I can't handle everything, so let's find ways to figure something out. That way I can be my best and work my best for the business. And so we sat down, we talked about it. Um, but I think reflecting, writing stuff down will help you realize what you need to change and what you need to let go of, especially when you have an obstacle. And that would be my main thing, is reflecting and journaling.
I actually have a question. Mia is sleeping, so are you still
Yeah.
okay? So, guys, drop your questions so we can, while we still have Nikki on board. um, my question is a personal question, but I'm sure it will definitely hit home to a lot of women. Is insecurity. How do you deal with your own inner insecurities? And just because there's a lot of people I've come in contact with, doing these lives, or even just people I've met, that struggle with insecurity. But I'm talking personally. How do you deal with your inner insecurity, like yourself? Because especially women, a lot of women are insecure about so many things, and it could be social media. I mean, you're dealing with teenagers too. There's teenagers, so many, and I have them living under my roof, that struggle with insecurity, low self-esteem. But again, going back, your inner insecurity, how can you, or what can you do to work on that? Like, what are things that you can advise to work on your insecurities and just self-confidence?
Yeah, I think this kind of ties into pretty much our whole call, is having that self-care. So putting that time in for yourself, realizing what is it that I'm insecure about, what can I do to change that, and finding the way that works best for you. So whether it is writing a positive affirmation every day, writing something on your sticky note and keeping that on your bathroom mirror, that way you see that every single morning. So at least you give yourself those reminders, whether it's with your self-esteem, whether it's with physical, just learning how to love yourself. And the first step is really like realizing it and then taking action steps. So self-care is a really big thing. Like we mentioned before, going outside, getting fresh air, going for a walk, making time to reflect and make space for yourself. I think that is the most important thing when it comes to insecurity. And having a good support system too. So a support system is really, really big, and it kind of even gives you like those gentle reminders as well that, you know, you're not alone and other people feel that way. And so a support system, a community, and that's why I created Holistic as well, is to create that mom community and, you know, letting moms know that they're not alone in this motherhood journey.
That's great. And you know what? That's again such a great thing you're doing. And I wish you so much power and blessings and luck in everything that you do. And of course, you know, I don't know where you get the strength, but I'm sure that, you know, you're so inspired because of the people that surround you, and that's very important. You know, I'm sure I speak on behalf of, you know, your family, all of us. We are so proud of you and so proud of all of your achievements, especially me. I know firsthand, you know, just how you are growing up, and just, you know, I'm just, you know, I hope and pray that, you know, Abby grows up to be as inspiring, and, you know, as strong as you are. So, you know, we're blessed today. I'm blessed today, of course, for having you share your story and share, you know, what's happening with you, and of course, give us some tips and tricks on things that matter. And I'm sure you've touched a lot of people, like I said today, or later on, for anybody who watches our live today. But before we go, how about you drop your social medias? You want to kind of just tell everybody where they can find you. I have your, you know, right now I have your website, your new baby up, and you know, where can we find you on Instagram, Facebook? Go ahead.
Yeah, so Instagram, my username is Holistic, so it's the same actually as the website here. It's at HOLISTNIK,
Okay, let
and
me read
it's
that.
the same thing with my Facebook group. So my Facebook group is also facebook.com/holistic, and you can like that. Or sign up, and I can actually, we'll be having like special things there too, but sign up for my newsletter, because that's where I'll be sending like exclusive things, so special recipes, and things that my website and my Instagram wouldn't get. So if you go onto my website and just subscribe at the bottom for my newsletter, you can do that as well.
And is there anything, last words maybe, for everybody watching, future viewers, existing viewers? Is there anything you want to say that they can take away from our chat today?
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone, first of all, for joining in on our chat. And the main thing I would want everyone to kind of focus on is making time for yourself and creating that space for yourself, and just being aware and seeing how little things can make the biggest difference. So I'm just going to challenge everyone for the next week to write down 3 things that you're grateful for every day, and then send me a message, whether it's on my website or Facebook or Instagram, and just let me know how that's made a difference and if there was a difference at all.
Yes. So again, guys, so Nikki's giving us a challenge next week. Every day, write three things you're grateful for. You know what? It does help It sets the stage for your day, for that positive outcome for your day. And I'm going to actually take on that challenge and start writing again every morning. And it's true, you start the day with such gratitude and appreciation. The rest of your day will definitely be just as positive. So, guys, thank you all for watching. Again, if you're not subscribed yet to Keeping It Real with Shay, please like, comment, and subscribe. Click that bell so you can be up to date with with my live chat sessions. And Nikki, I hope I can have you again on the show, and maybe we can have our cousin Christina and our aunt Tita Wila, because you guys are all into the mindfulness and self-care. So I think that would be another great live chat session. Guys, keep it real out there. Have a great weekend. Happy Saturday, and we'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye, Nikki. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank you.